Hello, welcome back to MTS. In this video, we are going to cover process management. There are two types of processes in Linux. There is the foreground processes and the background processes. The foreground processes depend on the user for input, and it is also referred to as an interactive process. The background processes run independently from the user. That is referred to as a non-interactive process or an automatic process. In this process management lesson, we are going to cover the kill command, the ps command, the top command, the free command, and the df, also known as the disk free command. So let's get started with the top command. The top command is used to track running processes on your Linux machine. When you execute the top command, it displays a list of processes that are currently running in real time. The information that is provided by the top command is the PID, which stands for Unique Process ID. This is given to each process. The user is the username of the process owner. The PR is the priority given to a process while scheduling. The NI column is the nice value of a process. The virt column is the amount of virtual memory used by a process. The res column or res column is the amount of physical memory used by a process. The SHR column is the amount of memory shared with other processes. The S column is the state column. The state column can return one of 5 different options. The options are D, which represent uninterruptible sleep, R, which stands for running, S, which shows the process is sleeping, T states the process is traced or stopped, and Z represents a zombie process. The percent CPU column shows the percentage of CPU used by the process. The same for the percent memory column, which shows the percent of RAM being used by the process. The time column shows the total CPU time consumed by the process. And finally, the command column, which shows the command used to activate the process. While in the top command, even though it is a real-time update command, you can still use the up and down arrow to move through the processes that are running. To leave the top command, you can just hit the Q key, which will return you back to the command line. The PS command is short for process status. This command displays the currently running processes. However, unlike the top command, the output generated is not in real time. If you take a look at the PS command, it will just tell us the process ID. The TTY stands for terminal type, the time, which is the total time the process has been running, and the command. The PS command can and does use arguments. To see a full list of those arguments, you can run the PS command with the -- help argument, and it will give you an option to use simple, list, output, threads, miscellaneous, or all. So you want to run PS help -- help, and you can use simple. It will give you a list of basic options you can use, where, for example, the -A will show all processes, or E. But some commonly used PS commands are PS-EF, which will show you a full list of the current processes running. It will give you the user ID, the process ID. Let's take a look at the PS-U command. It shows us the user that we are currently logged in as, the process IDs of the processes that we are currently running, the CPU percentage, the memory percentage. It shows us the processes we are currently running. If you run the PS-A command, it would show us a list of all the processes that is currently running. It would just give us the PID, the terminal type, the time, the total time the process has been running, and the command, which means which process is running. PS-A is the same as PS-E. PS-AUX is a commonly used PS command. This will give you a list of all the processes running, but will also include the user that is running those processes, along with a process ID number. It organizes these processes in order based on their process ID number. Another common PS command is PS minus EF. It gives you the same as the PS minus AUX command. One thing I forgot to mention, with the PS minus capital A command, you will get a list of processes that are also not running. Next, we're going to cover how to stop or kill a process. To stop a process in Linux, we use the kill command. The kill command sends a signal to the process, which then terminates that process. You can get a list of all the signals using the kill command with the L argument. There are different types of signals you can send. The most common signal you can send to kill a process is sig kill, which is item number 9. These lists of signals printed on the screen are essentially signals you can send to a process. In this lesson, we are going to cover sending the sig kill signal to a process to terminate said process. The default signal to processes is 15 sig term. So if your plan is to kill a process and you use the kill command with just the process ID number, it will not send the sig kill signal, it will send the sig term signal. To specifically kill a process, you have to run the kill command -9, which is the sig kill signal, and you use the process ID. Here's an example. We can use the PS command to view all processes running. I'm currently logged in as root to find a process to demonstrate how to kill a process with. Or killing most processes require root level access. I'm going to install a service, the Apache service. By installing the Apache service and enabling the service, the Apache process will then be running. So we're going to use the PS command, and we are going to grep for Apache or HTTPD. We see that Apache is running with a process ID of 18578. We can use the ps-aux command, and we will grep for HTTPD, and we see the process ID numbers and the users that are running the HTTPD process. If you run the kill command without passing any signal to it, to the process of HTTPD, we will see that it will kill the process of HTTPD. HTTPD is no longer running. And if we look at the status of HTTPD, we will see that it is no longer running, that it has failed. So we can restart the process and see that it is actively running. And if we run, and if we check the processes again for HTTPD, we will see that it is running. Alternatively, you can also run the kill command -9, passing the sig kill signal to the process ID of the process that you would like to kill. And you would get the same results. And you would get the result of killing that particular process ID. It doesn't kill the entire process. In this case, it did not kill the entire process of HTTPD, because as we can see, the processes for HTTPD has a few different process IDs. We'll choose the first one, 18649. The PS command is showing, but the PS command has finally caught up, showing that all processes related to HTTPD are no longer running. So I restarted Apache, and you can see that the process is now running. The free command provides information about the total amount of physical and swap memory in the system. It also provides information on used memory. So let's take a look at the free command. How do we use a free command? Simply just type in free. It shows the memory and the swap memory. The memory relates to the RAM on the system, and the swap memory is also displayed. In order to see arguments you can use with specific commands, you can always type in dash dash help with every command. So if you want to see the amount of the total used free and so on memory displayed in bytes, you would pass the B arguments, kilobytes, K argument, megabytes, M, and so on. So let's run that command again. This time we're going to pass the M argument. This system has a total of 838 megabytes of RAM installed. 495 is being used. 347 is free. 347 megabytes is free. And you can also use the G argument with the command, and you would get that information in gigabytes. 1 gigabyte of memory, 1 gigabyte of swap. Since we're not using at least 1 gigabyte, it's going to show zero being used. That is the free command. The next command we're going to cover is the df command, better known as the disk free command. This command is used to display information related to the file system about total space and available space on a specific drive. If you want to know what arguments you can pass with any command, you can always use a dash dash help argument. In the help screen, it will show you a list of arguments you could potentially pass. One common argument to be passed to the df command is the H argument, which stands for human readable. It prints sizes in human readable format, i.e. kilobytes, megabytes, and gigabytes. The df command by itself will bring up all file system partitions on the system, where it will show you the size, what's used, and what's available, and the percentage that is being used. If we pass the H argument, we take a look at the root partition, which is identified by the /. The total size is 17 gigs. 4.2 gigs is being used. 13 gigs is available, and 25% of that 17 gigs is being used. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.